catches the biggest bass.
Rod and reel arsenal, you've been asking for it for a while. We have a whole bunch of rods at our house, but we also have a whole bunch of rods over here at my dad's house. So I don't like live over here anymore, but a lot of my stuff, like my childhood stuff, is in this closet and the rods are in the back of it. So I mean, it's not necessarily messy, there's just a lot of stuff. Normally my stuff is pretty clean, but you know, I don't live over here, so like, you gotta keep your room clean, cause you know, whoa, that's a weird line. It's a closet, it's a lot of my like little kid clothes and stuff in here and just boxes of stuff. We're gonna close this door and the rods are back here in that corner. There's some rod tubes and all back there. So we're gonna find somewhere to put up the camera and see how we're gonna get these out of here.
1 hour later.
Alright, so I think I say this every time I make one of these videos. The only reason why I make these, I know that y'all really would love to see all the combos that I have. The only reason why I make these videos is because I want to motivate the 10 to 21 year old that either wants to be a professional fisherman, wants to do YouTube for a living, whatever. Nobody has to believe in you, but the only reason why it's not gonna work is if you quit, and that's where my mind is always at. We have all of these rods. These are the ones that I really don't use as often, and then also I kind of leave them over here, so if my dad ever wants to like check out around where he lives and try to catch some fish, he has some options over here too. I come and pick from this pile quite often over the summer, and like in the peak of fishing season, I'll come and like get stuff from over here. But we have one of Greg's rods too, and I'll show you these real quick and I'll let you guess which one it is. All of these rods in my arsenal, I could tell you a story about, because these are all literally reels, rods and reels that I started with, and they are all very near and dear to my heart. This one I caught my PB on a 6'4" before I broke it this year with Marshall in Georgia. Same line, same everything is still on it. I kind of put that one up because that 5'4" is like the first really big fish I caught, or fish over 4 pounds that I ever caught. Fish over 5 pounds, I guess. This is another reel. You can tell I used it a lot just because it's dirty. I broke this one in my truck bed. I'm not gonna go through every single last one of these rods. I'll wait till we get all of them together. All these rods and reels have some sort of story, and I might tell a little bit of it because this is just a rod and reel arsenal video. We're not going fishing today, so I think it's a perfect day to sit down and tell scary stories with Larry about how he broke this rod in his truck bed, and I'm still mad about that. And I actually broke the reel. It's not the rod and reel's fault, it's not the combo's fault. Yeah, long story. Gotta get these boys too. These are my pretty much everyday use rods. You know, the crazy thing is 2 years ago I did not have a truck, and I'm super blessed, happy to have one now. But I said whenever I got a truck, I was never gonna put fishing rods on the inside of my truck again. And now that I have some in my bed, I'm just now thinking about it. It's just so much more convenient, especially like if I have a kayak or something with me. I can't put rods in the truck with the kayak back there. Now the mission is to find somewhere that I can sit and talk to you about all these rods. I'm only gonna tell you about the ones that I use from day to day. I think it'd be kind of a waste of time. I'll put the ones that I don't use from day to day towards the end of the video, so if you want to see just the ones that I'm using or that I've used over this past year, because I've used all of my rods at a point in time. But I'll show you guys the 10 to 15 rods that I've been using over the past year and a half. So stay tuned. Let's go find somewhere to talk about these good old bass fishing rods. Happy holidays. All right, guys, I think we found ourselves somewhere to talk about these fishing rods. So let's get them out of the truck. We're gonna take them over here to this little fancy table over here. We're gonna talk about us, some fishing, and some fishing rods. So we got a lot, but I'm gonna start off with the ones that I use the most. So if that's all you came here to see, that's all you're gonna see. All right, let's talk about some fancy fishing rods. If you're wondering, I use a lot of Abu Garcia stuff. That'll be the starting point of this video. Most of the stuff that you're gonna see in the video today is gonna be from the lovely Abu Garcia brands. I have about 10 to 12 combos right here, and these are gonna be the ones that are pretty much in my truck at least once a week. When I go out, I try not to take too many with me because I find that a lot of times I'll take like 10 or 11 rods and they're all like 7-foot medium heavy, so they all do the same thing. So I normally try to keep it under 5, especially if I have somebody with me, because I've been known to just pile a whole bunch of stuff, because hey, you can never have too much, right? But let's get into it. I'm gonna show you all these rods and let me know what you think about them down below in the comments. If you have any favorites or if there's anything that you want to see that I don't have or you're surprised I don't have, comment also down below in the comments. These are in no specific order, but I will tell you some of my favorites and you'll probably hear multiple favorites. You know, I'm a fisherman. All fishermen will have one favorite rod and then the next day you'll go out and you'll catch 100 fish on a different rod and then that's your favorite rod all of a sudden. So check this out. So this one is not gonna go into any favorite categories, but this is a 7-foot medium heavy fast with the Abu Garcia Vengeance reel, 7:1 gear ratio reel with some 30-pound braid if I had to guess. I'm not 100% sure. This is a rod that I've been using mostly for topwater stuff. This one came with me a lot of times when I was fishing creeks, and I also have another one that is a 7-foot medium rod that's a little bit better for topwaters and stuff with treble hooks, but I also really like this one. This Vengeance reel is a new reel. It was a $40 reel last year at Walmart, and I think the prices went up on it a little bit. This is a really good reel just to add one to your arsenal if you're looking. All right, number 2 is a rod. I have to throw this one in there. This is an OG rod for me. You can tell how dirty it is that I got a lot of use out of this rod. This is one of my first rods, and I really decided to take this channel serious. It's an Abu Garcia Veritas 7-foot medium heavy. You can see how dirty this thing is. That's part of the reason why it doesn't have a reel on. I used to have my STX on this rod all the time, and then I kind of messed up my STX a little bit. I've done my best to fix it and I have it back out and I've been using it, but I mean, this rod has been through everything. It's been flipped off of side-by-sides. Everything that STX has been through, this rod went through it with it, and it's still in one piece. That rod 100% shouldn't be, but it is. So good job fishing rod. All right, number 3. This is another rod that I've grown to be really fond of this year just because I've caught a lot of big bass on it, like off of the same buzzbait and all. This is a good topwater rod for me. I throw frogs and buzzbaits on it. It is a Abu Garcia Veritas PLX, same rod as the last one I showed you, and this reel is a Zeta Z. This thing comes in a combo, and I have caught a lot of big fish on this rod this year, and I have really enjoyed this one. That's another one of those $100 budget rods that I think you could buy 4 or 5 of them if you have the money, and you could have a complete arsenal. Never have to go back into Bass Pro. Next, this is another one of those favorite reels, Abu Garcia Zeta reel, 7:1 Veritas PLX. Kind of step up from that other rod I just showed you. It's the Veritas PLX Tournament Edition. This is one of those combos I would deem as a favorite for 2022. Everywhere that I've went this year, it's went with me. I've caught a lot of big fish on it. I caught a 5.7, I want to say, early in the year on a swim jig, and then I've caught some big fish, or I caught a big fish on the Alabama River earlier in the year. It got off, but on that same trip, I broke one of the guides off of it. I slammed it down to my kayak tappings, and then this guide right here also came off, but we just fixed that right up with a little piece of regular paper tape. All good. We're gonna talk about these two together, not just because this crankbait is stuck in this backlashed reel that I backlashed yesterday, but because we bought these pretty close together and they're pretty new. If you watch some of the more recent videos on the channel, you have seen both of these rods. This is the Berkley Amp rod and Abu Garcia Black Max, $30 rod out of Walmart, $40 reel out of Walmart. Great combo, amazing combo. I've been throwing crankbaits on it, I love it. This is a Ugly Stick bass fishing rod. I know you heard that right, Ugly Stick bass fishing rod. A lot of people didn't believe me when I said that Ugly Stick made bass fishing rods until I went and got this thing and showed them. Ugly Stick rod with the Abu Garcia Zeta 7:1 reel, and I have been catching a lot of fish on this. The second day I used it, I caught like a 4-pounder on it, or I caught 2 4-pounders on it, and it was just a beautiful day. These are also 2 really good sleeper combos. These are 2 combos that I use to do the exact same thing. This one costs $100, this one costs $300. I'm not gonna tell you that the $300 combo is any nicer. I will say I do think the rod feels like it's a lot better than the amped rod, but at the same time, I mean, this one's hard to beat for $100. All right, let's see what else we got. We're going through these kind of fast. All right, this is a favorite, by far favorite. This isn't the combo, but this is one of my favorites. A little side note, I just went to Academy today and picked up the Jordan Lee reel, which you've probably already seen that video because I'm recording this in advance, but just had to throw that in there. This is the Jordan Lee bladed jig rod, 7.4 medium heavy with the Abu Garcia Zeta V money combo. This is a bladed jig rod. Also, I'll throw spinnerbait, stuff like that on this rod. I love this thing to death. This is probably my favorite rod I have ever used. I've never had a custom rod for any certain application, but this bladed jig rod is amazing. Like there's nothing like catching a big 4 or 5 pound largemouth bass on this bladed jig rod, because it's hard to put into words. It's one of those things you just have to buy and try it yourself. That's a really good combo, but I'm gonna show you the one that I have absolutely fallen in love with. This combo right here, if I had to pick one combo for the best combo of the year, or like my combo of the year, this would be it right here. The Abu Garcia Max Pro 7:1 gear ratio reel, Jordan Lee Signature Series bladed jig rod, slobber knocker. This thing is money, guys. This thing makes me happy just looking at it. This thing is worth every penny, 100%, and I love it. This is definitely combo of the year, my favorite combo that I'm not gonna say I've ever used, but it is definitely in the top 3 of most favorite bass fishing combos of all time, and I think it's gonna stay up there even as I get new combos. Only bad thing about using rod socks is that lures, treble hooks, hate them. Treble hooks and rod socks do not get along ever. So we're gonna talk about these two together as well, because I've been picking at them and I had to pick apart so many that went back together. I'm not fooling with it anymore. I'm tired of y'all. I don't really use spinning rods as I should on the channel, but I do have a lot of them. So this is the Abu Garcia virtual combo, and then this is the Veritas PLX Tournament Edition spinning rod 7-foot medium. And this is a rod and reel combo that I took to New York, and I caught a whole bunch of 3, 4, 5 pound smallmouth on. And I mean, this is a budget friendly reel right here. This reel by itself would maybe cost 40, 50 bucks and a $129 rod. And I was really surprised about how well this reel held up with all of those big smallmouth. This reel right here is my other creek fishing reel that I was telling you about. Same rod, Abu Garcia Veritas Tournament Edition rod. I always have a tripod tied on with this thing, and then an Abu Garcia Revo SX reel. In 7-3-1, every time I'm on a creek, this thing is 100% on the kayak with me. It's not staying at home. It's too good of a combo. Next, one of those favorite combos as well. This is the Abu Garcia Veritas PLX Tournament Edition rod with the Abu Garcia Revo Beast big swim bait combo. I found some ponds this year where I could catch the crap out of bass over the summer. All right, this is one of those rods that gets used a lot, but it gets used a lot in like 2-week periods of time. Like, it normally stays in my truck, and it's one of the only rods that stays in for a long period of time, but it doesn't get used all the time. It's kind of weird to explain, but if you fish, you probably understand what I'm saying. This is a Revo S combo. It's a little bit older. I'm pretty sure Academy used to sell these, pretty heavy. And I really like it because it has these wind grips on it, and they're built into the rod. So it's a good, nice, firm grip for when your hands get wet, whenever they get fishy, whatever, slimy, you can still hold on to this, and it's good and slick. I don't think they still make this reel, I want to say. I haven't seen them sold in a pretty long time. So discontinued reel collection, maybe. But this is a super sweet combo. This reel is a 7-3-1 gear ratio reel, and the rod is a 7-foot medium heavy. So perfect for top water. That's why I have a Maxent Tigger Craw on it now. And it has the sweet Abu Garcia logo right there, and then it has the For Life on either side with the wind grips. I really like this thing. This thing's super, super nice. So next is we have a Cherrywood. This is one of those rods. This is a new one. I actually just bought this a couple of weeks ago for a video, but this is one of those rods that will always be with me if I'm going somewhere either sketchy, somewhere I don't know on the kayak or whatever. This is one of those rods that's just nice to have for a Sunday. You know, you don't want to take, I look at my rods as like work tools. So like, I might not want to take a big $300-400 rod to a buddy's pond on a Sunday if we're just going to fish a little bit. I don't want to go all out today. I'm just going to take I'm going to put a Black Max on this rod, and we're going to go catch some fish at the farm pond today. If we get chased by a bull, I can throw it and it's not that big of a deal. The next one, this is the new combo I invented. I like to say that I invent combos because like I'll switch my reels to different rods, and then it's like a brand new, it's like Christmas all over again. This is a new combo that I recently invented right here. This is a Abu Garcia Fantasista X rod, 7-foot medium heavy with the Revo STX. If you look at that thing real nice and close, you will see that it is just beat up from head to toe because it went on the Veritas that I showed you in the beginning of the video. And I mean, that thing was flipped off of side-by-sides with the Veritas and took it like a champ. This thing was filled with dirt. I took the side plate off of it, and it was like, how does it still work? I've had this thing for 2-3 years, and I mean, I used this reel probably every day for a year and a half, so kudos to it. And when I say I used it every day for a year and a half, I mean like 3 hours at least. All right, and this is, last but not least, this is the jerkbait combo 6.6 Veritas medium done on there, and the Revo S with the wiggly handle. And that's what happens when you put a whole bunch of rods in your truck. Revo S Veritas with that nice looking stunner on there. So guys, that's pretty much it for the first part of the video. The rods and reels that I use every day for my bass fishing and for the videos that I make on this channel. Now it's gonna be the second part of the video, part 2. I'm gonna throw these back in the truck, and we're gonna look at the ones that just kind of, they make appearances. They make nice guest appearances on the channel. They might not be an every video rod, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. So, all right, part 2. Had to switch it up a little bit, change the angle on you boys. All right, we're gonna go through this one kind of quick just because this isn't stuff that I use every day. I did use a lot of these every day at a certain point in time, but I don't think it's worth me spending 100 hours on, you know, old stuff. So this is one of those reels, honestly, I just bought for a video. This is the Abu Garcia Vengeance combo. It is a really nice combo, but in my opinion, I think the amped rod is a lot better than this as a combo. All right, next we got 2 of the Abu Garcia Vengeance combos. This is a Black Max on this one. Pretty self-explanatory. These are 2 7-foot medium heavy. These were like 2 of my starter combos. 40 bucks, 50 bucks at Walmart. I mean, you really can't beat them. I was trying to fill up my arsenal, and I wanted to have a combo for every bass fishing situation that I would come across, and I did that buying those combos. So all right, I don't have the reel on it, but it's a spinning reel. This is the Vengeance rod. I bought this is the one I was saying I bought out of Walmart today. 15 bucks, as you see right there, and it comes with 2 little swim baits and 3 packs of the heads. Honestly, the heads are worth buying this combo, but I haven't made a video on this yet, so I'm gonna shut up talking about it. All right, this is one of those combos. I'm not sure how much more I'm ever gonna throw it. It was one of the first ones that I ever bought. It's the Abu Garcia Vengeance 7.6 heavy, Abu Garcia Silver Max. You don't see these anymore. Like, I don't think Walmart even carries the Silver Max. They redid the Max series. They kind of still have the Black Max. You still see those in stores, but you never see the Silver Max anymore. Yeah, this reel gets a little stuck sometimes too. But I mean, I had a lot of good days on this thing. This is one of those combos that I learned how to frog fish with. Caught probably my first frog fish on that combo, or one of the Berkley Cherrywood. Speaking of the devil, one of the old school Berkley Cherrywood rods. It's a 7-foot medium heavy Berkley Cherrywood. I mean, you really cannot go wrong with this thing. Like, these used to be $19, $20 in Walmart. They went up to 25 now, but 20 bucks. I get paid at Hibbett, I would go straight to Walmart and buy one of those rods. This is one of the rods that I slammed in my truck bed. This is the Max STX rod. It was a 7-foot medium rod. Now it's like a 6'9", because the tip's missing off of it. But yeah, this is another one of those rods. I never got to use it a lot to fall in love with it. I wasn't honestly the biggest fan of this style of grip right here. It's just kind of, it's like rubbery. I really didn't like it too much, but I didn't get to use it enough to see if I'd fall in love with it or not. All right, another 7-foot medium heavy Cherrywood. All right, this is the Abu Garcia 7-foot medium Veritas spinning rod, and this rod is super clean. Not because I don't use it, just because I use it for if I have to go somewhere to take pictures, or like a shoot thing, or if I'm going somewhere where I know there's gonna be a camera involved and it's going on like somebody else's social media platform. I try to take this, and you can clean the other ones, but you know, there's nothing like having a nice, perfect white one to start off with. A little bit of wear and tear on it. I still even have the tag on it. I just try to keep this one nice and clean, because you just never know. I'll never know when I need to use this one for something important. Spinning combos, we got a couple Black Maxes down here. Y'all probably are tired of hearing me talk about the Black Max, but guess what? I'm gonna say something about it again today. Boom, Abu Garcia Black Max 6:4:1 gear ratio, reel 6.6 medium rod. This is actually the first combo that I ever bought. This one right here. Know how I know that? Because there's a big crack in it up here. Pretty sure my hook cut that one day, but first combo I ever bought. This one's really sentimental. That's why it doesn't get used that much, just because I want to be able to give this to my kid. And like, I mean, it's a $60 combo at Walmart, but it was my first one I ever bought, so I just feel like it needs to be honored and treasured. This rod is one of those that gets used periodically. Normally, if I have like a reel that's backlash and I want to take it off of a rod, it normally goes on this rod. This is a 7-foot medium heavy Jordan Lee Signature Series rod, and it's pretty much used for everything, honestly. I mean, this is one of those you can Texas rig, fish a lipless war pig, choppo with some braid. You can do pretty much anything with that. This Mike Iaconelli 7-foot medium Signature Series rod, I honestly don't use this one that much, because if I'm being 100% honest with you, I never really fell in love with it. I know there's an application for it that whenever I remember I have it and there's like a new application of fishing I'm trying, I know I'll probably fall in love with it, but I just haven't found anything that is good for it. Me personally, it's a little bulky, and I don't like a bulky medium rod. It just doesn't, that one doesn't do it for me. Like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the rod. I really haven't used it enough to say if it's a bad rod. I just don't know. I feel like it was made for a specific style of fishing, and I just am not that fisherman, or I don't know the intended purpose of it. Got another Black Max rod, 6.6 medium. So this one is a virtual combo. This was something that Abu Garcia did, where you could pair it with a fishing app, and you could click a button on the bottom of your reel, log your fish catches, where you were, what you were throwing, how deep the water was where you were fishing at. Pretty cool concept. I don't really see too many people using them, but I'll see them every now and then when I'm on my Instagram Explore page. I think it's a super cool concept. I never really got into using the Angler app too heavy, just because I fish so much, I'd always forget. Yeah, that's a super cool combo, and I wish that more people knew about it, so it'd catch on, because I think that could be something really cool for like pond fishing in a super urban area. You know, you could match. Well, I guess not. People don't want to show their fishing spot. All right, and last but not least, we have another Mike Iaconelli spinning rod with the reel. I'm not gonna lie, the spinning reel is pretty sexy. This combo I do like a lot. And then we have a Revo S spinning reel with a Veritas PLX Tournament Edition 7-foot medium rod. Both of these are 7-foot medium. And that one has a little crappie jig on it, because it's probably dangling a little bit with Country Cousin. So yeah, guys, that's it for my rod and reel arsenal. I hope you enjoyed today. I hope you're having a great holiday season with your family. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you want to see anything else that I have, if you want to see a truck tour, if you want to see a boat tour, because I have 3 or 4 of those now, and I haven't really modded them too heavy, but we are working on that. I did tell you that before Vlogmas started. We're working on getting our stuff a little bit rigged out how we like it. We got comfortable and everything. I think I know all the accessories I want to put because I've been doing a lot of research on some of that stuff here lately. So yeah, hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to fish them hard and have a good day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Listen to me blabber about all of my bass fishing rods.
Chasing a bag, I'm racing the clock. Look at them block, watching them flop. Used to see this in my sleep. When I ain't had shit on my thoughts in the car, I really was lost. Now I'm public with the soundscapes.
Alright, I turned on the camera for one reason and one reason only. I just finished the video and I have a whole bunch of rods right here in the corner of my truck bed. The most dangerous part to put them, I just took the thumbnail and I only turned the camera on just so I don't close the truck bed before I get the rods out. And I know if I do it on camera, or if I turn the camera on, I won't do it. So.
On lockdown, phone call 3 ways. I just pray that he find God now. It's no replay.
We did it. Thanks for watching.
High school price on my head. Paranoid lying in my bed. Pray to God they don't turn my shirt red. I was lost, didn't know me. Introduced myself to codeine. 6 months was a dope fiend. Philly didn't even know things. There was a low me. Swear to God, there was a old me.